OK. Our first round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of clean-up operations after the bird flu outbreak at Bernard Matthews Farm in Suffolk. But what does BTAD stand for?
Is it bugger, there's a dead one?
Is it Bioterrorists Annual Disco?
Is it BBC Terminate Anton Deck?
Is it Bath Time Arse Disaster?
Yes.
Again, another video.
I have to say, the answer I was looking for was Bath Time Arse Disaster.
I got that paper.
Yeah, it was good, actually.
It was a good paper.
They just went in a different angle with the whole thing. Yeah.
It's probably... Well, turkeys are destroyed, I would reckon. But what would be? Bilious? Billions? British?
British. Very good.
British
Well done,
turkeys.
Hugh. By a process of going through every word beginning with B, Hugh has correctly identified the answer. Let us applaud him. The answer I was looking for was British turkeys are destroyed and refers to the arrival of the deadly H5N1 strain of avian flu in this country. Exclusion zones have been set up and a cull of 159,000 birds carried out. Is it enough? I wonder, ladies and gentlemen. The BBC sent us a note not to scaremonger in any way. It's out there! It's out there, for God's sake! Oh, why can guns and shotgun cartridges? What the hell are you doing watching this, for Christ's sake? That's what you're going to be doing right now. We should do Sorry, is that something wrong, John?
We don't need to panic, do we?
We don't need to panic.
Apparently, if you eat turkey, you should be absolutely fine. The only way you can catch it is if you dry out the carcass and sniff it.
That's essentially it,
If you're into that sort of weird shit, you deserve exactly what's coming to you.
For years now, we've been told you've got to have, you know, free-range chicken. It's going to completely change that. You don't want a chicken that's free-range. You want a chicken that has been locked up for a long... You know, this isn't an ordinary chicken. This is a chicken which has been raised friendless in solitary confinement.
If this happens, and let's broaden the healthcare system in general, do you think Britain's healthcare system will be able to cope with, you know, a mass outbreak of...
It almost certainly not.
You're supposed to have a flu buddy that you've got to pair up with somebody and they'll deliver the injection to you if needs be.
Exactly, but if it was my mates, they'd just pop a bit of Viagra in or something like that. Yeah, you're going to die, have some donuts, have some fun. Fling it on yourself, see how many you can get.
Donuts? With
See how many you can
Viagra?
get.
What the hell are you doing?
So I'll be there, I'm nearly dying, and I'm flinging them gently on me.
Ring donuts, not jam donuts.
Yeah, I'm not a
But where's he
beast.
putting them?
Like this. He's not doing like that.
Why?
It's Howard
Because I'm
Hawker.
nearly dead, Frankie. Can I not have some fun?
Find a woman, leave the pastries alone.
I'm going to have to walk past the Greggs now. How horrific would that be? People, there he is, animal. Just looking for I'll just have to wander in. Gingerbread man, please. Just turn him around.
Could be
Lovely.
worse, Susser.
Would it help you if half of the performers weren't eating bananas?
Hey with the monkeys.
Yeah. So seriously, you'd like the bananas to pause just for a second? Yeah. OK.
Have a special banana shell.
Jared, we'll get a banana. Oh, we'll get you some grapes. What greengrocers are we turning into here? What have G8 leaders been debating in Japan this week?
They've been debating biofuels, for one thing.
Yes.
They've basically decided part of the food crisis to do with biofuels. Biofuels, it's not the greatest idea, is it? Trying to make petrol out of things like maize, given that a third of the world is malnourished. You know, people watching a car going past, oh, crikey, there goes my sodding lunch.
It's a bit much these rich countries going on about food shortages, isn't it? I mean, we're going to be fine. How bad are things going to have to get before we can't afford to shop at Lidl? I once did my entire weekly shop at Lidl in exchange for an amulet made from cat's teeth.
Gordon Brown is there telling us we shouldn't waste food. Surely he needs to talk to John Prescott, a man who, from his own diaries, we know wastes an awful lot of food.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a bulimic and just liking to eat so much that you puke.
I think it's a good point you're making. They say that we waste £400 a year on food. It's not just the food that you throw away. There's food that you have on your face. And also asparagus. How low do you go? Some people just tip, whereas there's a lot of asparagus that you can still enjoy. Obviously, you don't eat the whole asparagus. I'm not a monster, but you do. You can have There's at least an inch more. My wife leaves a huge amount of asparagus. I think the food wastage.
I think you should say that to the starving nations of the world. You should tell them they're being too picky about how much asparagus they eat.
With asparagus.
That was the most middle-class limbo ever. Asparagus, how low do you go?
That's what it's all about, right? Because it's Gordon Brown saying, oh, we're wasting food. It's not like it's the biggest waste of money we have. We spend millions and billions of pounds building weapons to kill shepherds. And you've got someone who spent £7 billion on 2 aircraft carriers this week standing in front of us going, maybe you should keep your potato peelings and make some kind of flan.
I'm slightly confused, though, because we're throwing away millions of tonnes of food, and yet 25% of the nation is obese, which implies that late at night, fat people are eating from bins. Now, let's be honest.
The subject is food. Who wants to talk about that? Milton.
I went for an Italian recently. Well, he was annoying me. Incredible to think, isn't it, that every single Scotsman started off as a Scotch egg. Cold and gingery. I was grilling some tomatoes the other day, saying, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" I almost got into the SAS. I failed on one question. They said, right, imagine the scenario. Terrorists have taken hostages. They're holding them in an embassy. What are your preferred tactics? I said, I like the orange ones. I was in the park the other day watching an old man feed the birds, and after a while I thought to myself, I wonder how long he's been dead. When the boys in the playground found out that I had a potentially fatal allergy to peanuts, they used to shove me up against a wall and make me play Russian roulette with a bag of Revels.
Can I ask a serious economic question? What have we been buying that has helped us out of this?
Pies.
Pies. Yes, pies,
We've
yes.
been eating comfort food, buying comfort food, haven't we?
Yeah.
Pie, loads and loads of pies. Pie buying is at a 30-year high.
16% higher than it was.
That is a nightmare for nutritionists, isn't it? All those healthy eating arguments gone out the way. Are you eating your 5 a day? Yeah, I had steak and kidney. Steak.
I think it must only be in the south, because, you know, if we ate more pies in the north than we do already, they'd have to invent, like, a breakfast pie.
We've also got a little bit cosmopolitan as well. I was at my mum and dad's because I've been gigging in Liverpool. I'll come downstairs for breakfast, and instead of having a normal breakfast, my dad was sat there with a croissant, because my mum's gone all continental. And he sat there with this croissant. I just looked at him, he looked at me, he went, yeah, I know. I said, what's your croissant like, Dad? He said, it's shit. He said, croissants are just empty pasties.
Actually, the other thing, pies have gone up, and lipstick, bizarrely.
Yeah.
In a weird double whammy, people are getting themselves fat, but slightly more attractive.
The economy's been propped up by obese, alcoholic chain smokers. You will have to change smoking cigarettes. You know, smoking causes cancer, but it also stimulates economic growth. There'll be blokes going,
see that school? I paid for that. I did it all. I was doing my bit.
I imagine the schooling paper doesn't have very good facilities for sport and whatnot.
Just helping Dara.
Well, that's not a need.
They're going to spend the money on a gym. I said, don't bother.
The government have been getting at fat people for years, and they've got us out of this recession, and they are our only chance if the Chinese do ever decide to jump up and down at the same time. Right? As soon as we see that tidal wave coming up, you go, fat kids, boom, we send one back. All counts as out around Chicago. Genius.
So we...
Not one letter back from the Ministry of Defence.
There was a reference in the paper 2 weeks ago about why we've got so many obese children and why is it related to what we're doing in the recession and so on. And it came up to the conclusion we've got so many obese children because parents love the kids too much. And because they love the kids too much, they give them fast food because that's what they like. And then because we love our kids too much, we won't even let them walk to school in case somebody snatches them. And I've got to be honest with you, I've not spoken to many pedos, but I don't think they're into fat kids, you know. I know it's controversial, but I think let them walk to school every now and again. If they get chased, they might shed a few pounds.
Where has Jesus turned up recently?
In everyone, Dara.
He's turned up on MySpace, hasn't he?
He has turned up on MySpace, yeah.
He's got his own little page on MySpace now, and it's something along the lines of, you know, you've got to try and spot where you might be able to see Jesus, isn't it? And there's this big picture of, like, a pint glass with his face on it, and you're supposed to be... As if the only time you would see Jesus was after you'd finished a certain amount of alcohol.
Nope, this is the actual picture. See if you can spot the face of friendly Jesus. What I like about that, have you all seen it? Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, I like the way it looks like he's a Scooby-Doo character looking out from behind a tree. Peekaboo, peekaboo, who's that there?
He's quite an angry Jesus.
He is an angry Jesus. He's angry Jesus, isn't he? His moustache is down-turning.
It must have been a pint of Stella he's appearing in. If I had a wife, I'd beat her right now.
Do you remember that thing in the World Cup when Wayne Rooney turned up in a potato? You think, well, surely he turns up in most of them.
What I particularly love about that is the fact that there is a good mouthful left at the end of that pint. That pint's not finished, right? So there is a touch of, there's Jesus, there goes Jesus. So, the police have been probably... Stop it. We are genuinely filming this shit. Could you stop throwing stuff? That seems, you know, that you're not... I know this bit isn't all about you, but don't break open the sweets just yet, all right? OK. Where the police were having problems with the eFit technology?
It was rude.
Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask you to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features the Prince of Wales.
Oh, someone should tell you you've got a turkey on your head. Let go, there's enough. I'm the Prince of Wales, thank you. Good morning. I'm looking for... where's my list? Cheese, that's right. She's told me to buy some cheese. Do you have cheese? Any cheese? Yes, we have cheese, sir. We have lots of cheese. What kind of cheese was it you were after at all? What, do you know? I think I'm just looking for cheese. Is that cheese? I've never actually bought anything. Good morning. Do you have cheese? I don't have cheese. It's cheese I'm after. Is there cheese? Is there cheese? Those things. Is there cheese at all? No, that's an oyster, sir. Your royal idiotness. That's an oyster. Does it taste of cheese? Oh God, do the Chalmers. I thought you were dead. I wish you were here. Wish I was king. Oh, wish I had cheese. No. Do you have cheese? You shiny-faced man who's escaped from a cuckoo clock. Do you? Is that cheese? No, this is ham, sir. That is ham there. That is... is it like cheese at all? Cheese, I'm after, you see. No, that is a ham, you see. That is a pig that's been shot, you see. That's how that works. Shot? Oh, yes, probably by my father, yes. Mistook it for an immigrant. Yes, no. You can taste some of this ham if you like, sir. Come over here, try that. Well, I like it. Well, it has magical properties, you see. You eat that, you go to a different part of the space-time continuum. That's what happens there. Yeah. Fuck me. Where's the cheese? Where's the cheese?
Well done, you. In other news, what's going on here?
Oh. They found a piece of toast with Osama bin Laden on. They would have found it 10 years ago, but it was hiding in the toaster. It definitely is him, because when someone tried to eat it, he used a Pop-Tart as a shield.
It is surely the photograph I've always wanted. Is proof that Osama bin Laden is toast.
Yep, that's what
That is, of course, Osama in his heyday. Now, of course, you know, if you pull out the crumb tray and pour it into the sink, that is more what he looks like.
Jesus must be well pissed off with this. 'Cause even a few weeks ago, that would have been Jesus.
That would have been Jesus.
It's me, lads. I'm back again. I'm on toast this time.
Toast is unbelievably fickle. Toast chases trends like no other heated bread. Who gobbled up Cadbury during the week?
Kraft, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Kraft, whose only contribution to human progress so far is the invention of cheese that can also be used as a bookmark.
The guy who invented Kraft, I think it was like John Kraft or something, his original job, where the company built itself, he was a door-to-door cheese salesman.
Well, actually...
If there was someone from another era, would you ever trust, ding dong, would you like some cheese? No! A man walking door to door.
I could beat that. My mate, when he was younger, used to be a door-to-door karate salesman. Can he do karate? No, he can't.
That question there could have been answered so many... You could have asked that question any week. Who gobbled up Cadbury's this week? Obviously, this week it's Kraft. Most weeks it would be sad, lonely women at that sort of...
I'll tell you what, though...
Lonely. I'm not lonely.
And also... there is something...
I'm genuinely worried about dairy milk, though, because I don't know why it's my one source of milk.
If it wasn't for dairy milk, your bones would be nothing, you know? Like
On the news, they just kept saying that Cadbury's had been taken over by an American food giant. I was thinking, you're going to have to be more specific, because about half the population of America could technically be described as American food giant.
Trudy, you could send out the Jolly Green Giant. He's one of yours, isn't he? He's British. You could send out. He could defend.
He's British. He's fictional, Dara.
Oh, well, that's real. Fictional British.
So he's green. What would make you think he wasn't one of yours?
What would be great if when Cadbury shuts down, if just a load of Oompa Loompas come out of the gate like that.
My sister bought me a box of 48 bars, the standard size bars of dairy milk for Christmas, and I think she thought it would be like one a day and it would last for ages, and I just opened it with a kitchen knife. I did think about putting them all out on the bed and, like, writhing around naked like an indecent proposal.
Don't do that. Never mix sex and chocolate. Women tend to look like Morph.
In the week that Osama bin Laden released... Ah, for fuck's sake! More of that later. Mock the week.
I foiled him by throwing a banana at him.
Who throws a banana at someone? Now, the topic is food. Oh, there you go.
Now, this is one of my favourite topics because I actually hate restaurants. And my wife loves restaurants. She's middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And she loves a restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant at the weekend? And I say, yes, we can. And we're there. We're barely there 2 minutes. And she's like, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out about poor people, isn't it, basically? People with a few quid to say, can we just have one night out about the poor people turning up? You know what they're like, they'll be banging spoons together, singing Mailman's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. We want an ambiance. So we try and enjoy the ambiance. But something's happened spoiling it for me. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Creating the situation when my wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because I'm going to have the risotto. You can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up with a bit of red sauce, right? So I thought, I'm not having it. I said to the waitress, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? She's looked at me like I'm the worst pleb God has ever put breath in. She went off to the kitchen and I saw her making her way back with a pot about that big, about 2 chipfuls of tomato sauce. I thought, oh, here we go. She's tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal or something. And I stopped her. I said, hold on, love, don't rush off. And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her, I said, Jess, I'll have a bottle, please.
The answer is Middlesbrough, Rill and Liverpool. What is the question?
In which 3 towns are you considered a lesbian if you're over 14 and haven't got 6 kids?
Where are the 3 largest Lidls in the country?
Is it my car's been stolen and cut into 3 pieces? Where is it?
What three places did the British Health Board name as the axis of chips?
What are the first 3 chapters of the book Places Not to Grow Up Gay?
What a Christmas present that would be.
What are you trying to say here, Dad? What are you trying to say?
It's to do with life expectancy, though.
It is to do with life expectancy,
Three
yes.
of the lowest in the bottom 10 for life expectancy.
That's absolutely right. Well done, Ed. Very good. Yeah.
To be honest, this story, every so often, this same story comes up that up north, apparently, that all they eat is pies. It's just horrific. But then you think about it, if all they're going to do is eat pies and that, we should genetically modify pies and give them legs. And that way, you know, we can have the pies dance and go, oi, fatty, you want to eat me, don't you? But you've got to catch me first and just have... And all the fruit and the veg and the healthy food just led there and the pie's legging it.
Genetically modify a pie. Pies don't... They're not, like, born of a large mother pie. That pops them out from her pie womb. And then, they're not actual individual living creatures.
What I'm saying, we can make it happen.
Well, Darryl is right. There are definitely holes in your get pies to grow legs theory.
There are. All you have to do is not kill the cow, cover it in pastry, it can run on its own. Do you know what will avoid the killing? It would be quite a large pie.
Think of the horror if a pie with human hands turned bad. Can you imagine being throttled to death by a pie?
How ironic a death that would be, to be killed literally by a pie. You knew I would get you eventually, says the pie who also has a mouth.
Would you give legs to a fish pie, or would that be just 2 against nature? Would it have to be fins to a fish pie?
To be honest, I come up with the idea, then I just kick back and play golf, nuts on the road. What I do... I rock up, I just walk into a factory and declare at them, I want legs on pies! And then I walk out.
How? You go, don't give me how. I'm not the how guy.
Yeah.
I pay you to be the how guy. I just get the idea. You fill in the details. Twat. And there you go.
I can't believe that Glasgow hasn't appeared on this table.
This
we're
table,
doing everything right.
This table is for England and Wales.
You have your own, much like football, you have your own league of a much lower level anyway.
We're basically in a health dungeon.
You would screw with the figures so much.
Do you not just carry a guard pie around with you that would attack people?
Mr. Dennis, welcome to the executive board. He's thinking out lound. A guard pie. Of course, that's the next plan.
He's moving up the corporate ladder really quickly, isn't he? Yeah. OK, I almost dread asking the next question. What have scientists been given the go-ahead to create this week?
Porno pies! Porno pies!
Porno pies?
Porno pies.
Oh,
they turn up to do your plumbing, they open up with a steak inside. It's beautiful.
What kind of pornos are you watching? Some steak, yeah. Well, that's got me up the runway.
I'm trying to get on your corporate ladder, you racist.
It's a quandary. What can I say to that?
There's nothing you can say
I have never seen the race card pulled so beautifully. That was a pair of ace race cards. Oh, I got bullets.
What have scientists been given? I'll ask the question again. What have scientists been given the go-ahead to create this week?
Monkey butlers.
Not monkey butlers.
It's close, though.
They've been given the go-ahead to create human-animal hybrids.
Yes, they have, exactly, yeah.
And the scientists are very excited because they've already had tremendous success with Wayne Rooney.
What other nominees for our image of the week? What's going on here?
That is the face of Jesus on a naan bread.
Yes,
or possibly a posing pouch for an evangelical Christian.
It is a weird Christian thing and a weird Catholic thing to see images of Christ with the Virgin Mary. I mean, for this one, for example, what's that in?
That's Jesus in someone's back. It looks like someone's been bruised.
It is a bruise.
Is it a bruise?
Jesus in a bruise.
Is it really?
Someone got bruised.
That looks more like Albert Einstein.
Yeah. It does, yeah, it is.
That is a good call, man.
Young Einstein, darker hair, in a bruise. Yeah.
If maybe Jesus appeared at the curry, right? because, you know, they'd ordered some bread and then 4 lagers, and he was thinking, no, should have a glass of red wine to go with the bread. I'd better appear and tell them. I mean, you know, some joke like that.
Oh, I've never seen something give up as elegantly as that. You know what I mean? Like, there's some wine, some bread.
Basically, that was the IKEA of jokes. Here's the stuff.
Let's just lean it together, lean it off each other.
That goes there, that goes there. You don't need me.
Let's just hammer it together. The first subject tonight is what a TV chef would never say.
So that's the bird plucked and stuffed. All that remains is to kill it.
Welcome to One Fat Lady.
And here, what you want to do is put a little bit of the brown mixture in the tin and then sprinkle a little bit of hash on the top of it.
Well, these Korean meatballs really are the dog's bollocks.
If you're wondering how to get the perfect skin on your parsnips, then you're mental.
Hello, I'm Delia Smith, and today we're going to cook a panda.
Am I invisible in this jacket?
I think you
So, I've marinated it for half an hour, seared it for 15 seconds, and now I'm drizzling it on my buttocks.
You just need 2 things to make this dish. What you need is a takeaway menu and a phone.
Tonight on Russian Cookery, cyanide, polonium, and a crab stuffed with explosives.
It's not going to be worth it now, is it?
The next topic is things that would change the atmosphere at a dinner party.
Ignore the banging. She's been in there for 24 years.
Help yourself to Nibbles. He was our favourite hamster, but it's what he would have wanted.
Are you sure this is pork? It's just because Mike Crackling has a tattoo.
Don't worry, we don't say grace. We just sacrifice a child to the great god Imhotep.
Doorbell! Excellent. That'll be Heather Mills and James Blunt. Hope he's brought his guitar.
I hope nobody's allergic to nuts, because I like to rest mine on the table.
Well, this is absolutely lovely. I say we all raise a glass to the Fuhrer!
10 of you arrived. Only 1 will leave.
Anyway, long story short, after about 2 hours, you couldn't tell what was poo and what was chocolate.
There is a vegetarian option. You can fuck off.